FC, you had made a post maybe a few weeks ago talking about R&B. Do you remember that?
Yeah, about how it's not really R&B anymore.
Yeah. Well, this kind of inspired it for me when you had made it up, and I was like, man, that just reminds me of it. Why we don't have the R&B like we used to. But
Well,
uh,
TR, if we being completely honest, ever since I had my masculinity awakening, a lot of those songs, even back in the day, were simping and whiny.
whoa,
Like,
whoa,
listen, "End of the Road" by Boys to Men is the biggest simp song. Think about it. He's basically begging her to come back after she cheated on him. He asked to marry her. She said no. Then she went out and cheated with somebody else. And he was still begging her to come back. That's "End of the Road" by Boys to Men. It's he says it at the end of the song. I know you was cheating on me, but I don't care. I'm like, whoa, 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 what?
man. What's that Drew Hill song?
Take your pick, man. It was a lot of wine. This was good R&B.
Or the sleep in my bed, mess with my
Yeah,
head.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I always use "End of the Road" because even in Living Color made fun of "End of the Road" because they knew it was a simp song.
Yeah. Well,
Huge simp song.
it makes me, like I said, it's kind of the reason why we don't have the R&B songs that we have today. And I'm actually good with that though, because those R&B songs, and then in this video where when we get to it, it's kind of prove that women want this fantasy, and men will sometimes fall for it though, because all this programming when telling men this is how women want things, it's not. They don't want any of that stuff. If anything, they want certain types of men to act this way, but they don't want like the regular, average man to come away and walk and be this type of person. Like they don't want anything remotely close to to an average guy. They want the guy that's out of reach for them acting like that what do you call it, educated thug or whatever, the Tupac. That's who they want.
Yeah, they be trying to hybrid that stuff, but I mean, it's one or the other. Take your pick.
Yeah,
Stop playing.
for real. So whoops, I had this up, but all right.
I want to be passionate. I want to be crazy. I want to be
Oops, let me go back.
form to being nonchalant. I was put on this earth to have feelings and feel them. I am not a fucking zombie. I will be a zombie when I'm dead. I can sit in the ground for eternity and not have no damn feelings.
Yeah.
I want to feel my emotions. I want to be happy. I want to be sad. I want to be in love. I want to be passionate. I want to be crazy. I want to be angry. I want to feel all of the things. Everybody want to sit around and be so fucking cool and yeah, she cool or whatever. Whole time obsessed with the bitch. Mm-hmm. What happened to singing in the rain? What happened to standing outside of my door with a damn boombox? What happened to love letters and poems and being crazy passionate in love? Everybody want to be so fucking cool. And I can't do it. I want that type of feeling.
Want that heart box,
my used to be.
What happened to this R&B dancing in the rain?
Right. Hands and knees. Sliding on the floor, begging, please, baby, please.
Sing to the pussy like they used to have to be on the knees and be holding the ass and singing to the pussy.
Yearn for me.
Oh man.
I can do some shuffling too. Look out, man, what you gonna do? Look out, boys, it's coming through. Yeah, man, yeah, man.
Yeah, the shuffling that these women are doing, and this is from, I'll give them a shout out because we're using their clip, is behind the likes pod, and I really don't know who these women are, but they're getting a lot of exposure off of it, and I'm glad they're having this conversation out loud though, or continue to have these conversations out loud, because men need to realize, because for some men and for the younger crowd that listen to us, you might be thinking like this is not a big deal. It is ultimately a big deal. That singing in the rain, they don't want that shit. That boombox from that John Cusack's movie, I forget the name of the movie. I know we get killed in the comments, but they don't want that either. As a matter of fact, you're going to jail. If anything, they're going to call the police on you. So everyone thinking that they want you begging and pleading, first of all, ain't no woman going to respect you. Ain't no woman respecting some man doing any of that shit. That shit's all Disney. That's all movies, and that's all that R&B bullshit that we don't hear today. That's all that stuff. So this is just shuffling, and this is like tricking men or telling men, or actually it's pushing that fantasy that these women want that they'll never get, or if it was in front of them, they would never take it.
uh, it's so odd to me hearing the people that killed that type of behavior off complain that they want it back.
Sure.
Generally speaking, men who are on that type of time, roses at work, poems, love letters, singing, etc., those are the ones y'all typically view as marks.
Hmm.
Those are the ones y'all typically view as an easy mark or a trick. So men and women are constantly doing this adjusting and moving around when it comes to the sexual marketplace and the dating / courting marketplace. Men will say what they want, women will say what they want. You kind of adjust to it and you decide it's not for you and you move back. I'm saying all this to say, you know good and damn well, lady, if a man treated you like that, you'd have no respect for him.
Facts.
Now, there are some traditional women out there, but y'all need to start speaking up because y'all so quiet and y'all so rare that people think y'all don't exist no more. I'm here to tell you, men don't have a problem doing stuff like that. The problem is they don't trust you to be that vulnerable with you and to do what you're supposed to do to move the relationship forward. They're gonna think that you're gonna take all these messages and these letters, show them to your friends over there, kaka and kikiing with them, and you're gonna make him look like
Oh
a
yeah.
loser to your friends. And now in your mind, you're thinking, what can I get from him? Can he fly me somewhere? Can he buy me a bag? Can he buy me a car? This is how the society is right now. And this is why I say the women, not just the women, but the people with the loudest voices are typically the ones that need to shut up. Now, here's my question for that lady. I'm not familiar with the podcast, but I appreciate the conversation. If a man gave you that kind of treatment, are you going to reciprocate anything back to him that he wants? Because one thing that I've learned is men will tell you what they want. But generally speaking, y'all don't adjust to it like that. We tell y'all we want y'all more feminine and soft and inspiring. Get the gym, get in shape, learn how to cook, take care of things around the house. Are y'all doing that? Because last time I checked, we're moving in the wrong direction when it comes to stuff like that. So if you want something like that, I hope you're prepared to get some expectations put on you in return, because that's when the conversation gets tricky. Because if a woman wants something, it's empowering. But if a man demands something, it's misogynistic.
Yeah. And I want to bring up the comments on this one too, because you just got a lot of people are just delusional about stuff like this. And I know the comment, I mean, the video itself went viral, but there weren't as many comments in there. But there's still a lot of women that are still, that represent the women out there today, talking about, I forget. There goes little dog, backyard, white fence. Yeah, they want these things and they don't want to do what it takes to get to these things, and it's not difficult. I'm away from that. I'm not believing that women don't know how to get there. They know how to get there. When they want to get that job, they know how to like dress themselves up. They know how to be, the ones that can negotiate, they negotiate their salary. They know how to do all those things. But when it comes to like just telling women how to be, you want to be a wife or you want to go after that particular type of guy, they don't know how to do it. It's like a jigsaw puzzle to them. It's like finding where's Waldo. They don't know how to do any of those things when it comes time to, be the woman or be the wife that he needs you to be. And if they can do it, they can't do it for so long. Somebody else had a really good comment on here, and she said, "Nah, girl, because Pleasure P sure sings sweet things, but did y'all see him dogging BS on Love and Hip Hop? Hell no," which I never watched any of those things. But that's the other thing too. A lot of those men that were just saying all that stuff, they were just saying that stuff just to get to the draws. So Dirty Macking was employed, and they never really meant any of those things. I mean, look at Neo. Neo sings a lot of simp love songs, and he got like 4 chicks with him. So is that what they want?
Yeah, that poly life is a whole nother conversation for another time, because I think it's a cop out. But anyway, again, I don't understand, and thank God I'm out of the game. TRU and the single bros got to deal with stuff like this. But what I do want to say is, if you are a man who believes in romance and traditionalism, I'm not knocking you for it, because I'm that way. But what I am telling you is, you have to work twice as hard when you meet a woman to make sure that she appreciates it and she's not going to play you. Unfortunately, that's just the way things are right now. And a lot of men become villains because they take so many L's trying to find a woman that's on the same type of vibe that they on, and they
Women.
miscalculated to get their heart broken, and then that's how you create a supervillain right there. That's how you create a savage, and that's
Yeah.
what's happening.
Well, and this is the thing that no man has had his heart broken from like a 10. It's all the regular women. It's all the women that they assume they wanted these things. There's a lot of men that have been great providers for their wives, for their families. They still get a divorce. There's a video that we didn't have time to cover, but a woman was basically breaking down that she's done being in a marriage, or she's saying it was hard being in a marriage. I mean, first of all, you're airing out your business, you're airing out your husband who is a provider for you. So you're putting all that stuff out there, and this is what men have to go for. Like, I think for a lot of men, I think they're starting to catch on slowly but surely. They're starting to catch on, and they're seeing that marriage is not the ideal option. I don't give a fuck what Charlie Kirk says or what Matt Walsh. Like, I know conservatives will definitely lean towards being marriage is the right path, but it's the right path for how long? Like, a woman, we've seen women exit their marriages after they have a kid. We've seen men just, they're in these dead bedrooms. A man is in a dead bedroom because he wants to keep his family together. Like, he can't. I mean, I guess I don't see I don't know too many men in dead bedrooms. So, some of this stuff is I get from social, so take with a grain of salt. But I have a hard time believing that this stuff is not true. I think there are more dead bedrooms out there than people want to, believe that there are. And you're expected to stay in that marriage. They stay in it even though they're not getting any cheeks. Come on, man. Ridiculous.
I just posted a story that semi relates to what we're talking about. David Justice. I don't know if you remember who that is.
Oh yeah, I saw that trending.
The
Yes.
Atlanta Braves.
Yep.
Yeah, used to be married to Halle Berry, and one of the things he opened up about was he was cool with all that romantic stuff. They got married. I think the proposal came after 5 or 6 months. But one of the things that he said was, they went in on this honeymoon. They was in that romantic stage, but when it came to what he expected, because he said, I'm a Midwest guy, I got Midwest/traditional values.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to get a wife who was nurturing to the kids, who would cook and maintain the house. So again, this proves my point. Again, if a woman wants something, it's always on the table. But if a man has different expectations, it's a problem. And you're going to continue to have stuff like this. If you want this romance, ladies, you need to be prepared. Tell him what you demand, and he'll tell you what he demands. Then y'all got to figure out if it works. It can't be one-sided, and that's typically what happens. This was a recent story. It kind of ties to what we're talking about, so I just threw it in there.
You know what's funny about the David Justice thing? So I don't know if you remember
Single
what was going on.
bros. Good luck, man.
Nah, there's a cheat code to the single bro life, and men just check out Coach Greg Adams. If you have a for the single bros, that's probably the best way to kind of how to handle these types of situations. But the funny thing with David Justice, and I can't remember if he said it or if it was like from the news articles, but they said he had like a sex demon. They said he had a sex problem. So I can't remember if he has said it out loud though. But the only thing about this, which I'm kind of like, I don't want to say a full cap, but it's like, come on, bro. Like, why are you bringing this up? This was back in the 90s, and you pillow talking on this podcast just to air out, Halle Berry. And I thought they ended on good terms, but apparently not. So there's some concerns there too, because first of all, if you picking Holly, why didn't you? I mean, I hate to say it, but did you vet properly? Like, because Holly strikes me as a person. She ever since David Justice,
now you sound
she's
like
been having
DTR.
babies with every guy she's been with. Are you there, MC?
Yeah.
MC,
Go
you
ahead,
there?
got it.
I can't hear.
You got
Oh
it.
man, we're doing this shit
Yeah.
again.
What the hell? Hold on. Right back.
Oh man, this dude cannot hear me. I can't hear him. All right, sorry, folks. Technical difficulties. But what I was saying about David Justice is that he was out there. I mean, the story was when I was a kid, when I heard about this, is that he was out there saying they say he had like a sex demon, and this was not what Holly wanted. But Holly's out here having kids with all these other men, the men that she married, but still having kids.
All right, am I back? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I see. Brando said he could hear me, so you was the only one that couldn't hear me.
Well, you know,
We're gonna work on that behind the scenes, though.
yeah.
We
No,
gonna
no,
work on
what I
that.
was gonna say is when I do the editing, I can hear you as well too. I don't know why it just clicks off with me.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure it out. We gonna tighten up behind the scenes, y'all. But like I was saying, I don't want to dive too deep into that marriage. But what I will say is, he was asked specifically, and he said that he would answer any question. That's why it came up.
All
But
right.
again, you talked about vetting, right? If you care about stuff like that, you can't go after somebody who's a clout chaser. Celebrities are clout chasers. They make a living trying to get attention from other people. That's a terrible recipe for a marriage. And that's why
Mhm.
we got to stop looking at actors and actresses and rappers as proper examples for relationships. So you're right, he didn't properly vet. And you said the sex demon stuff. I've been on record saying this as a married man. I know this because I talked to many other married men. Some of the laziest people are married people when it comes to staying in shape and keeping your desires up to speed. Because some people get higher sex drive as they age, and some people they goes the other way. But y'all gotta adjust and figure stuff out. And people who are married often think, okay, I got the ring. Now I can let myself go. Now I'm gonna pick up this weight, and then I'm gonna blame it on these kids that I had 15 years ago.
Right.
Or and these are things that people got to get better at. You kind of got to have this mentality that you still want to be desirable to your spouse, and that
Mhm.
requires being very humble and being very open and receptive.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't eh, shout out to David Justice. And I don't know if he had got married after her. I mean, obviously, the woman, I mean, I'm sure there are some other women out there, but the only woman that I know that pays child support is Holly Berry. And she's paying child support to two guys. So that's wild to me about when you said the whole family stuff, because she definitely was enough for these other men. And she didn't have a kid with David Justice, and you would think David Justice probably be the ideal guy just because of the athletics and notoriety. I mean, there's a lot of things with David Justice, and that was right after they won the World Series, I believe. So, but she upgraded to some other guys, and now she's not with him. She's actually with a regular dude, I believe. Not a regular dude, but it's not I don't remember the guy's name, but they just posted a video of themselves in bed talking about just because you're over 50, you can still get it in or something, which nobody was trying to see any of that. I mean, Holly possibly, but not the other guy.
Yeah, your due diligence, fellas. I always talk about vetting. It's so important. Social media, her posts, ask her questions about her
Yeah,
credit, all that
social
stuff.
media.
Hey, ask about the body count. Even just she might not even answer if she gets offended. Just watch how she reacts to it. It's all fair game.
Yeah, honestly though, I don't think you guys need to ask anymore. I think you have to demand, because if you want to be in these relationships, and especially if you have, and I know for a lot of men
Well,
that
you know
are
she's gonna lie to you if you ask the body count question. They all
it,
lie.
well, this is how you pull their whole card. You got to look through their phone. You got to look through all those things. And I know some people want to be like, well, why do I got to look all that? I trust her. I don't give a fuck what you trust or you don't trust. How come if you trust them so much, how come y'all be getting divorces? How come y'all still in dead bedrooms? How come she getting her cheeks clapped and she's at a Coldplay concert? You trust her still, motherfucker? Like, I don't get why people say they do all this trust. People have been
Right.
proven to be untrustworthy. And most of the people, and I worked in a lot of corporate jobs, and there were a lot of what do you call it? Work husbands, work wives. I've been a work husband, but in a good way. In a good way, though. I don't break up the home.
Ain't no such thing as a work husband in a good way, TR. What are we doing right now?
Hey, I'm just telling you the truth. There's tears to this.
Another thing, man. Women cheat mentally.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
can mentally cheat on somebody too, and they try to justify their dirt as being better than your dirt because yours was physical. Meanwhile, hers was mental. She over here having mental O's at work with Ted in the county because Ted's making her feel some type of way.
Yep.
Man, y'all got to stop treating them like they are the superior morality. No,
Not even close.
everybody out here wilding out. Stop.
Not even close. Yeah. The one thing that I've realized about women that I've always given them the benefit of the doubt, or, like, oh, she couldn't do that. Here's the thing, and I know people are not gonna like this though. but women can get multiple baby deletes and not feel any shame. Like,
They'll dismiss it and write it off like it never happened.
yeah, they're like, well, I've had 2 or 3, no big deal. I'm like,
And
you
you know what
don't
else
coach
they'll
them type of
do?
way?
You know what else they'll do with the body count thing, TR, is they won't count the women that they mess with. They
Yeah.
only count the men.
Or if the guy is a Peter Rabbit in 5 seconds, they won't count that either. And they're like,
No.
no big deal, or no protection, or he used protection. So there's a lot of things that women will do that men in general, and I've given them a pass on this stuff too. And I would never do that. I would never just let things just slide. And if a woman has active social media, that's 2 red flags. And if I can't see what's on her social media page, or if it's private, and I see a bunch of like what she's posting, I'm like, no, we ain't doing this. Like, it's either the social media, or I get access to the social media, or not. I know people say that's controlling. I don't go, fuck, I ain't about to like waste up my time. You know what I mean? I bet that Coldplay, the husband, I bet he wasted his time. Well, you say he didn't waste his time? Because I know he pissed off, and we still haven't heard about the fallout with that one. And that's just the most recent thing that's been going on. So people, men in general, you just got to start being firm with a lot of these chicks. And if they don't, the thing with a lot of men is that they just don't let them walk away. You can go get another chick. She can't get another you.
I said that before, and I say it again. If you are the man that you think you are, the greatest leverage you have is your ability to leave.
Right.
If you really are this solid dude, that by definition makes you rare, and it's gonna make it a hell of a lot harder for her to replace you. That's how you gotta move.
Yeah.
You have to make them understand that you are not scared to leave if they disrespect you.
Yeah, it's kind of like with your job though, because a lot of people like my job can't get rid of me. They laying your ass off. They got rid of you. They don't care. They're gonna regret it. They move on. There's not been one company that I've worked for that's where I stopped working for them or have been laid off from, that's gone under. Not one bit. And I don't know. I don't have anyone in my friend circle that has left a company and they just folded. Like, nope, they find a way.
Well, you're an interchangeable part.
Facts. So, all right. So we are going to jump to Little Tay.